road to the Big Game Special, sponsored by Cirque du Soleil Crystal, a breakthrough ice experience.
Welcome to Arrowhead Stadium. The Kansas City Chiefs' quest for an NFL championship begins this afternoon. I'm Matt Gasper.
And I'm Ethan Schmidt. And over the next half hour, we're going to take you through the journey that it took the Kansas City Chiefs to get to this point with their matchup with the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah, we'll go inside both teams' locker rooms over the next 30 minutes. We will hear from the head coaches. We will hear from the players, all in preparation of this afternoon's game.
And we start with the hometown team themselves, the Kansas City Chiefs, as they prepare for their playoff matchup with the Tennessee Titans.
They understand that it's single elimination. The urgency that's involved with every practice play, every game, every play during the game, they all matter. And so we're lucky to have guys that kind of get that.
Different. I mean, it's, I think, hard to go beyond. I mean, certainly this last year, I mean, this is, same staffs, a lot of the same players. So that one certainly pertains to this, and it was a close game, came down to the very end. Beyond that, it's hard to read into too many of those. Learn from that a little bit, but obviously there's the whole chess game of, new players, new schemes, things like that.
I think our guys know we're not really heavily favored by the gurus, the experts, and I think that just personally it's a good incentive to show that we're very capable of going in there winning.
The speed's going to change, and guys are going to be more hungry because really you're just trying to get through the 17 weeks of the season. And with this time, it's just it's a new season. It doesn't matter what your record is. You're in, and it's all about going out there and just playing football. But I'm used to this, though. Like being with Coach Saban in Alabama, every year is a big game for us or something. So I'm used to this.
A lot of us are new to this, but, we're looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a great atmosphere, and can't wait for Saturday. We've got to score points, cash in on turnovers, convert third downs, kind of the same story throughout the year. But if we're able to do that, build some rhythm, cash in the red zone and score points, hopefully that'll help us lead to a win.
We stop the run, takeaways come. They come after you stop the run, force the team to pass. We got good guys in the backfield that's going to force the turnover. Marcus Peters, Ron Parker, Dan Sorensen. So we don't worry about the pass anymore. Just stop the run and force them to pass and create turnovers.
It's a great venue. They've had good teams and teams that weren't able to make it to the playoffs, and so you don't take anything for granted, man. It's here. We need every fan that's out there that can fit in that stadium, and let's go. Let's go. It's exciting for everybody.
As usual, a wild Week 17 set up some very intriguing matchups here in the wild card weekend of the playoffs. We're lucky today's Chiefs and Titans game will be the first, which kicks off what is sure to be a thrilling 24 hours with 4 high-profile games. The Chiefs have not won a playoff game at home inside Arrowhead Stadium since 1994. Remember, they earned the right to host last season, but lost in the final minutes against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Kansas City will also be eyeing revenge against the Titans after losing to Tennessee on a last-second field goal last year. The other wildcard game in the AFC will feature a pair of teams who haven't sniffed the playoffs in years. The Buffalo Bills are the 6th seed and in the postseason for the first time since 1999 after they received a belated Christmas present courtesy of the Cincinnati Bengals. Buffalo will travel to Jacksonville on Sunday afternoon. The Jags are the 3 seed in the AFC, and they are back in the postseason for the first time in a decade. The winners will then travel to the Northeast. The Patriots and Steelers are the 1 and 2 seeds. The lowest remaining seed will make the trek to New England. Switching over to the NFC now, this game will follow today's Chiefs and Titans matchup. It will be the Atlanta Falcons at the Los Angeles Rams. As we all remember, Atlanta blew a 25-point lead in the championship game last year. This time around, they will have their work cut out for them. Matt Ryan's team is at the bottom. They're the 6th seed. The Rams have made the most of their move to Los Angeles by winning the NFC West. The last game of the weekend will be Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers traveling to the Superdome to play against the New Orleans Saints. The two teams with the byes on the NFC side are the Eagles and the Vikings. If Minnesota is able to play its cards correctly, they could be playing for a championship inside their home stadium next month. Safe to say the Chiefs players seem very confident about this afternoon's game against the Tennessee Titans, but it's hard to say. This has been a very roller coaster type season for Kansas City. It started off so hot, and then it kind of faded off.
Yeah, you start the season getting a huge win over the defending champs, and then you turn around going 5-0 and one of the best teams in the league until they started to fall off a little bit.
Yeah, losing 6 of 7 right in the middle of the season, losing games to the Giants, to the Jets, 2 teams who did not make the playoffs. All of a sudden, people around the Kansas City area are thinking, is this team going to make the playoffs? Will they win the division? After what started off so well, kind of turned into it's a fight for the finish.
Yeah, late in the season, they actually enter in a tie with the Chargers and the Raiders, but they pull it out and they get that right there, the AFC West Division champs, for the first time in franchise history, back-to-back, that they were able to win the division. And I think they were I know they're very excited about something like that.
Absolutely. It helps to be able to have 2 of those games against those division teams right here at home. That definitely plays a huge role in it. Chiefs win 4 of their final games, 2 in the regular season, and they end the year on a high note heading into the playoffs, which I think you obviously see a lot of keys to success now with that momentum.
Absolutely, and one of the big keys for me is getting a guy like Travis Kelce involved very early in this matchup. And then, of course, you got to get my guy Tyreek Hill the ball. He can make anything happen when he's out there. They used to call Dante Hall the human joystick, and I think Tyreek Hill has replaced him as the true human joystick.
That's right, number 82 to number 10. You get Tyreek the ball in space, he can get to the edge, and all of a sudden the Chiefs have 6 points right there.
Absolutely, and we'll also see if that defense can step up as well against a very, very tough Titans offense.
We'll talk much more about that throughout the special. As we go to the commercial break, however, let's show you a trivia question to see if you know your Kansas City Chiefs.
Jessica Beam's father, Alan, makes a special meal every Sunday the Chiefs are playing.
The Los Angeles Chargers, we did a big seafood boil, the Eagles in Philly, and so we had big Philly cheesesteaks.
Jessica is a Chiefs super fan. She goes to the games, collects memorabilia, and usually has season tickets. She says she gave up on going to the games this year to save up for her wedding.
I already told my fiance that I gave up regular season, so if we have home playoff games, we're going to find a way to go.
Even her dog is named after a Chief.
His name is Holly, named after Tom Holly, her favorite football players.
Jessica says it's all thanks to her dad.
Took her when she was a little girl on a Monday night game, and from that day on, it's just been Chiefs, Chiefs, Chiefs.
And as the years go on, Jessica says she's become even more thankful for this time with her dad.
Obviously, not a lot of girls get to share something that is such a man's sport with your dad, and I love it. I've told my fiance multiple times, I know you have to work, so I'm going out to my dad's to watch the game.
And she says that's never going to change.
Welcome back to Arrowhead Stadium. Ethan and Matt with you here talking Chiefs and Titans playoff football in just a few hours.
And we know that in just a few hours, this place is going to be packed, and we all know that the Chiefs can bring the noise.
They certainly can. The Chiefs and Seahawks went back and forth for a few years about the loudest outdoor stadium in the world, a Guinness World Record. Well, it's held right here at Arrowhead, 142.2 decibels, set back in 2014 against the Patriots. They might need every bit of that noise coming up this afternoon.
Absolutely. We know that these fans are going to be out here cheering on their boys in red, and actually it's going to take a little bit more to get this game ready to go, and that comes down to the people that actually help put it all together. We had a chance to sit down and actually talk to a few of them and see what it takes to get ready for a game day.
Before the kickoff, before the fans are in the seats, and before the tailgaters even arrive, crews are heading into Arrowhead Stadium to get ready for game day.
You have tons of different departments all getting here hours early to get ready, from your fan services to your concessions employees to your retail employees. I mean, there's thousands of people that go into making a game at Arrowhead.
Sarah Keel is the retail director at Arrowhead Stadium, and she'll be getting ready for game day by making sure that the fans are in their Chiefs' best before their hometown team even takes the field.
So these postseason games are really exciting. You have a great crowd out here at Arrowhead all the time, but especially on a playoff game because it means that much more. So you really get that extra pop of excitement. They're going to be here early. They're going to be ready to go. They're going to want all the new stuff for the game, all the new playoff stuff. So we just make sure that we have as much in as we possibly can.
After the fans have their Chiefs gear, it's on to the actual game, an experience Sarah says is unlike any other.
I mean, when you come to Arrowhead, you get an experience like no other. I mean, we'll have the Tennessee fans in here experiencing a game day like they probably don't normally see. I mean, tailgating at Arrowhead is the best experience you're going to get in the NFL, and that just keeps on rolling with everybody we have here. I mean, we have an incredible staff that, put on the best possible game that they can.
And if you're wondering just how loud it is on game day, Sarah says you can hear the roar of the crowd no matter where you are.
It's pretty fun. Even up here, you can't quite tell where we are, but we're up a level from where the fans are, and you can hear the roar of the crowd in here over the sound of the game, and you hear the people out there just going crazy, and that's what we expect on Saturday.
And with this being a playoff game this Saturday, expect the stadium to be rocking.
Well, it takes a lot to get ready for a game, but also a playoff game. We know the Chiefs, they'll be ready for it.
You bet more than 75,000 people will pack Arrowhead Stadium, but it wouldn't be a playoff game, it wouldn't be an NFL or a Chiefs game without the tailgating, right?
That's absolutely right.
The beverages, the food will be flowing, the grills will be lit up. We had a chance to catch up with a few fans who really experienced the tailgating atmosphere, even though they might not be in the first row. Check it out.
Parking lot N41 might be just about as far away from the stadium as you can park for a Chiefs game.
So this is a strategic parking spot. It is. You have to walk a little ways, but it's good for an old man to walk sometimes.
And a quick getaway after, but this is where you'll find Grumpy's Corner.
Why do they call you a grumpy? I don't like to lose.
It's a spot with plenty of grillin', chillin', and Chiefs villain.
I got to see the Super Bowl one more time before I die.
A spot Stan Grumpy Moyer picked out more than 25 years ago. In all the games he's seen, he's never seen one that meant so much like this.
This one is big. If we don't win this one, it's over with.
Other fans looking to make the trek to the stadium from N41 agree.
Percentage-wise, 75%. Not 100, no.
We want the confidence. We know there's talent. We pour our heart and soul out here in the parking lot. We know they put their heart and soul out here on the field. So.
As for Grumpy, he plans to be not so much later tonight.
They're going to come around. I got faith in them.
So there will certainly be no shortage of tailgaters here at Arrowhead Stadium. Chiefs and Titans playoff football in just a few hours.
That's right, the Chiefs will prepare for the Tennessee Titans that features 2 Heisman Trophy winners on that offensive unit. We'll have more on that coming up after the break.
But first, here's some more Chiefs trivia.
Well, for the game, we are looking at a little bit of some decent weather for the most part. Skies will remain clear to partly cloudy. So we'll call it mostly clear for the Kansas City area. And temperatures largely in the lower 30s during game time. Now, as we head later in the game, temperatures will start to trail off, obviously, heading into the evening hour underneath that clear sky. But the big concern, obviously, this time of year is with the way it feels out there. Wind chill, not a huge problem. It'll be chilly with the start of the game in the lower 20s with southeasterly winds running about 8 miles per hour. By the time we're toward halftime, we'll be looking at lower 20s with about a 5 mile per hour breeze. The winds will let up, and not really looking at a major wind impact as the winds will likely stay less than 10 miles per hour. And as we head late in the game, those wind chills will fall a little bit more into the upper teens and low 20s with that light breeze blowing through the area. So a cold game, but not bitterly cold as we look for temperatures again, primarily in the 30s and wind chills into the 20s.
Welcome back to Arrowhead Stadium. Ethan and Matt with you here getting you ready for kickoff. In order to beat your opponent, you have to obviously know your opponent. That's the Tennessee Titans. Ethan, this team is stacked offensively and defensively.
Yeah, that's right. The Tennessee Titans bring in 2 former Heisman Trophy winners, Marcus Mariota out of the University of Oregon at quarterback, and at running back, you have a guy by the name of Derrick Henry that's on one of those Nick Saban powerhouse Alabama running attacks that we have. But not to mention, how about this, a former mule himself from Central Missouri, Delaney Walker, a huge target for Marcus Mariota and a huge target that the Chiefs defense will have to step up and defend.
Absolutely. The MIAA getting a shout out here in our preview show. Yeah, this Titans team, their season has been almost reverse of what the Kansas City Chiefs was. They started off slow. They were really hot in the middle of the year, and then they've kind of cooled off, losing 3 of their last 4, kind of limping into the playoffs. We'll see what happens here today.
Absolutely. Let's send it to our friends in Nashville now for a look at the Tennessee Titans.
All right, thanks, guys. It is bitterly cold in Kansas City, but these two teams showed last year that the weather is not going to have an impact on this football game. So for the Tennessee Titans, what will be the impact moments of the football game? First up, the Titans have to stay disciplined. They have done a great job all season long of keeping themselves out of bad situations. They're second in the NFL in penalties, the second least penalized team in the league. The other stat for them that's big on the discipline front is big plays defensively. They've given up fewer big plays than any defense in the National Football League, and they feel like if they can limit the Chiefs and make them work all the way down the field, they're going to be in a very, very good situation. Now, special teams, another big key in this football game, because the Titans have been outstanding on special teams the last 2 weeks in coverage against the Jacksonville Jaguars and also against the Los Angeles Rams. And with an elite player like Tyreek Hill, that's going to test Pro Bowl punter Brett Kern and that coverage unit. But they've been up to the task all season and really seem to be peaking at the right time. Now, offensively, the key is simple. Run, Marcus, run. This is an offense almost completely dependent on Marcus Mariota's ability to run the football right now. When the season started and Mariota was healthy, they scored 37 in Jacksonville. They scored 33 against a healthy Seahawks defense. Then the next week, Mariota popped his hamstring in Houston, and it has been a struggle ever since. But last week, in the fourth quarter, we saw Marcus on the move, and it completely changed everything. If he can show the threat of getting to the outside, the Chiefs will have to honor it, possibly creating some interior zone reads for Derrick Henry, who has shown he can take it to the house. He's got 3 touchdowns this year of 60 yards or more. That's tied with Tyreek Hill for most in the National Football League. Also, if the Titans can then run the football, it opens up play action. And last year, when Marcus was most effective was when the Titans were running the football and he was bombs away in the play action game. Last up, on defense for the Tennessee Titans, it's simple. They've got to create turnovers. In those 2 crucial losses in Arizona and San Francisco, they had 0 turnovers. The last 2 weeks, they've created 5, almost knocking off the Rams and then beating the Jags to get to the playoffs. Look out for Kevin Byard, who leads the National Football League with 10 takeaways this season.
All right, thanks, guys. Titans ready, Chiefs are ready. Here's one more trivia question before we come back for our final thoughts on today's game.
It was really shocking. Like, I really liked it.
12-year-old 7th grade football player Chris Baker sitting in amazement in his idol's game day locker and looking around at all the other names that surround it.
I just see all their names and I'm like, I want to be up here one day.
That's the message some Chiefs players were sending.
Doing what you're doing and do you. Just be you.
The players surprising the national champion 68 KC Outlaws with a surprise tour of the stadium and a message to always stay on track and remember your goals and how football can help you achieve them.
It's taught me so much, just how to live on a day-to-day basis.
Have fun, man. Be yourself. Don't worry about what's going on in this world. I mean, we blessed to even wake up, so why stress over things you can't control?
After a lesson in dealing with the media and what to do when you score a touchdown, it was time for a breakdown.
I can see a lot of them in this locker room, truth be told. Like I said, they just stick to the script.
I got a message that, like, they see potential in us, and if we keep growing, then we'll maybe be like them one day.
All the preparation to get to this point in the season began more than 6 months ago, as other teams around the league try to hold their summer training camps close to their respective stadiums. The Chiefs are a little bit different. Ever since 2010, their training camp has been held on the campus at Missouri Western State University. And just this week, the Chiefs announced they've reached an agreement to keep their training camp in St. Joe for the 2018 season, with an optional additional one-year term that will cover training camp in 2019.
We've been working for a couple months now with Dr. Vartabedian
with Josh Looney, their athletic director, to put together an extension that'll keep us in St. Joe for next year and possibly beyond. And we're just excited about that. The entire community has been so supportive since we moved back in 2010, and the school has been really, really cooperative.
So every summer, Chiefs fans get their first opportunity to check out this year's team, and St. Joe has been a great destination for fans near and far. It's an opportunity to get close to the field, take pictures, and of course those coveted autographs with their favorite Kansas City players. Later this year, the Chiefs will begin their 9th year training at the home of the Griffins.
Welcome back to Arrowhead Stadium. The winner of this afternoon's playoff game is heading to the Northeast.
That's right, they'll either head to Pittsburgh or New England, one of two very tough opponents.
That's right, Kareem Hunt, the NFL's leading rusher this season, will try to lead that Chiefs offense against Tennessee in just a few hours. For Ethan Schmidt, I'm Matt Gasper. Thanks for watching.
Enjoy the game.